Hello everyone and welcome to a new video of Firepower Threat Defense series. In this video, we are going to talk about DNS protection section of access control policy. So let's jump onto the FMC and look at that. So on the FMC under security intelligence, in last video, we did network and URL block list. Today, we are going to do DNS protection. In DNS protection, there are two kinds of DNS policies. One is a DNS policy, other is umbrella DNS policy. Okay, if you have Cisco umbrella as well, then you can use that also to protect you against the malicious DNS resolutions. Okay, so what you can do, if your local DNS policy is allowing the traffic, then you can still send it to umbrella for the evaluation. Okay, how that will happen, in order to configure the integration, you have to click on this gear shaped icon and then it brings you on this page here. In here you have to configure these settings under the Cisco umbrella connection: org id, network device key, network device secret, and legacy network device token. These are the mandatory values with a star. There are some advanced values as well if you want to configure. Okay, so I don't have an umbrella chain, so we are not going to look at that. We are just going to look at local DNS policy. Okay, right now default DNS policy is applied. Now let's look at the DNS policy. How, in order to create a DNS policy, you have to go to policies and DNS. Before you can call in a policy here, you need to create that policy, and that policy created policies and DNS. So there are by default two policies present: default DNS policy, default umbrella DNS policy. We need to click on add DNS policy, and then we are not going to add umbrella DNS policy, we are going to add a local DNS policy. Let's click on DNS policy and then say DNS underscore policy. I'll make capital P. P. Okay. I can put a description if I want. Just save it. So now I have created a DNS policy. See, I'm inside that policy now. Now you see I have two sections: do not block list and block list. Okay. So when if you when you we will be creating rules in those policies, before creating the rules, we need to create the DNS list and DNS feeds to be used in here. Okay. Where do we create DNS lists and feeds? Objects, object management. And if we go under security intelligence, there is an option for DNS list and DNS feeds. These are similar to network list and feeds. You know, feed is when the content is located on a URL and it is fetched from there, and the list is when you have locally uploaded it to the FMC. So let's create a DNS list and a DNS feed. DNS underscore feed type, it's a feed URL. I'm gonna take this URL. I have hosted it on my GitHub, and these two domains are part of it. So let me put that feed URL is here. Update every 15 minutes and save. Oh, sorry. MD5 URL must be provided. That is something I did not see before. It was supposed to be an optional feature. Let me say DNS underscore list. Oh, sorry. Feed, feed, feed. See, it's optional. Let me put it here, there. Okay, if you go for a lesser value, I think then it's a mandatory feature. You see, 15 minutes, fine. Let's make it 2 hours, and then it becomes optional. Perfect. Save it here. So now I have configured one feed. Now let's create a local DNS list as well. DNS underscore list. It's a list. Upload. I have already created a file domain. Okay. Oh, sorry. I have to upload. See, one domain and save it. So now I have created one list and one feed. List has google.com and facebook.com, and the feed has zomato.com. Let me show you guys that. Sorry, the list has zomato.com and the feed has google and facebook.com. Let me just close it here. Okay, so we got one feed and one list. Okay, let me just click here. Click here. Okay, feed was last updated, list was last updated. Perfect. Now we are good to create the DNS policies. Policy we already created. Basically, we are good to create the rules in DNS policies. This was the policy we created, edit it. This rule, global do not block or global block this, you cannot delete them. You can edit them and you can disable them. That's it. If you want, I keep it enabled. The reason for that is suppose something which is globally in do not block list that should not be blocked. That's why. Okay, let's create a new rule. DNS rule. I would say, mm, what do I say here? Uh, Custom DNS rule. Let's name it this way. Rule is enabled. There are certain actions in the DNS policy. So suppose a DNS request comes for Google, Facebook, or the Zomato.com. What should it do? Should it allow? Do not block means it will allow. Monitor, it will match the policy, generate the log, but it will not stop it. It will evaluate the other policies. Okay, other rules down this rule. Domain not found. If a DNS request is seen for those domains which match this policy, what response? Do you want to send a domain not found response? Perfect. You can send it. Drop, silently drop the request. Okay. Sinkhole, interesting. When you have honeypots in your infrastructure, okay, you can return the IP address of a honeypot to the, uh, I would say, machine which requested the DNS for the matching domain. And then there, further on, you can do more analysis on this stuff. Okay. So when you select sinkhole, you have to select a sinkhole object. We will see when we will be doing the sinkhole option. For now, I would say return domain not found. Request should be coming from inside zone. What network should be sending it? I would say my LAN user should send it. No VLAN tag. In terms of DNS, I'm gonna add our DNS list and DNS feed to it. Okay. DNS feed added, DNS list added. Okay, add it. So now the rule is created and the return should be domain not found. Let's click on save here. Go to access control policy and attach this DNS policy we created in the local DNS policy section there. Here you see DNS underscore policy. Perfect. Hit the save and deploy the changes. While it is saving, I'll initiate a deployment and we will talk about the sinkhole object. Okay. Deployment is now initiated. I'll go to objects. In order to create a sinkhole object to be used in DNS policy actions, you go to objects, object management. There is a section here for the sinkhole. You need to create a sinkhole object here. Okay. I would say add sinkhole. I will say custom sinkhole. Give it a name. Put IPv4 address that will be provided. Let's say 111.111.111.222. Okay. For IPv6, send a localhost. That's ::1. That's equivalent to 127.0.0.1. Now there are two actions, log actions to sinkhole. In this case, what will happen? DNS request will be resolved to this IP address and connection will be logged for that specific DNS transaction. But when the real traffic is going to flow to this IP address, it will not be stopped. It will be passed. So you can analyze it at your honeypot. But if you want it to be resolved and then connection also to this IP to be blocked, then you can select the next option. Block and log. Log will be there. Also, when the real traffic will be initiated, it will be blocked. Like suppose if you someone accesses www.google.com in the browser, DNS resolution will happen. This IP will be delivered. If you select the first option, the transaction will be passed through the FTD. But if you select this option, DNS will be resolved to this, and the transaction will also be blocked by the FTD. Okay, so let's select log connections to the sinkhole because we are saying we have a honeypot. Type, what is the type of this sinkhole? If you know you are providing this IP address only for command and control type of lookups, or maybe malware type of lookups, or phishing type of lookups, you can set them, or you can choose none. I'm gonna say command and control, my choice. Sorry, name should not contain spaces. Perfect, hit save. So now we have created a sinkhole object as well. Let me see what's the status of the deployment. Okay, It's about 75%. I'll pause the video while it completes. Hey guys, so the deployment is now complete. All devices are up to date. Now let's go to our Linux machine and then do some stuff. Let me use dig. Dig is the command which is used to resolve an IP address. So let's do dig to www.google.com. See what is the response. See, there is no response, which means domain cannot be found. Let me do a ping. Ping www.zomato.com. See, name or service not known. This is because of the action we selected. Now let's look in the AI, I would say SI logs, okay? Security events. Let's see if it can see those events. See, DNS feed. That's coming from the feed we just created. So something meshed to that feed. So, and domain not found was the action. Now let's do the similar stuff, this time with the sinkhole. Let's go to policy, DNS. This time we're going to put our sinkhole into action. Here, edit the rule, sinkhole, sinkhole. Okay, save. You see, you didn't see any IP address here, okay? But now you will see the IP address once I deploy the policies. So that while the deployment takes place, I'll pause the video. Okay, everyone. So the deployment is now complete. Let's look at what is happening now when we do the DNS lookup on the Linux machine. We did for Zomato. Facebook is also part of same. So let's do dig www.facebook.com and I should get sinkhole IP address. Okay, it's taking time. What? Communication to 127 dot, yeah, see, sinkhole. Okay, let's check the uh, unified events this time. It's also logged into the unified events. I wanted to show you unified events due to something interesting I wanted to show you guys. Action will be sinkhole. We can filter. Yeah, see sinkhole, DNS block. And I wanted to show you by expanding the log that this was for, see, facebook.com, a sinkhole response from firewall. So that's how you use sinkhole in FTD DNS control policies locally. Okay. So in this video, we looked at DNS list and DNS feeds. We looked at DNS control in SI, which is security intelligence in here. Also, we looked at how to create a DNS policy. Okay, there are a few more things, compare policies. You can click here and then you can compare the two DNS policies, or maybe you can compare a different policies version. Let's see other revision. I want to compare DNS policy by admin at this with the current revision of it. So now it should show me the differences. See, rule number 5 was changed. Action sinkhole. Sinkhole this. See, it wasn't there in before, okay? And if we do previous, let's see if something comes up. Oh, sorry, or next. Yeah, next here. See, it shows you the differences. Okay, so that's it for this video. And I'll see you in the next video. Till then, have a good day and happy learning.